In this video, I'm going to show you the Notion template that I use to plan out my week so I can get more stuff done without burning out. If you haven't watched my videos previously, I talk about where I plan my weeks out based on energy, not time, and I talk about the creative energy states in this video here, so check it out if you haven't already. But let's dive into the Notion template that I use to plan out my weeks. So here is the Creative Energy Map Weekly Planner. It's a Notion template that I created. It's based on the Creative Energy Map framework, which includes the creative energy states that I talk about. And these are the states that we use to create any ideas that we have. So whether that's a marketing project, writing a book, a song that you're trying to write, a project that you're trying to finish, these are the states that I use to plan out my weeks so I can get my projects moving forward and completed. So let me show you what this past week looked like. In the planner too, I like to have like a weekly focus where if there's only one thing that gets done this week, it's that one thing. Like if emergency came up or I was like super sick or just whatever, like life happens, that would be like the main thing that I want to absolutely get done if nothing else gets done. And for this week, it's teaching class. I'm a music production teacher, and so to me, it was important that I teach my students this week. This is what my week looks like, and you can see it's color coded. I have my energy states here. Again, if you're not familiar, I have a video on this. Just a quick overview, but craft is when we are working on our idea. We're like doing the deep work. Output is when we're finalizing and putting those finishing touches on the idea. Connect is when we are connecting with others through meetings, collaborations, email, networking. Spark is when we're brainstorming, when we have that initial spark of an idea, right? So those are the 4 states. So I've color coded them and I've mapped them to the different tasks so I can plan out my week. And so what I usually do first is I start with like, what are the things that I absolutely have to do? Like those are things that are in my calendar, like meetings, the classes that I was teaching this week. So I'll put those on there. So it's like I had some client meetings, I had a team meeting, I had to teach class on Tuesday, and I had a group feedback on Thursday. And so from there, those are things that are like static. Those need to be in there. Those are commitments that I've made. Those go in there first, and I have the energies associated with them. So for example, teaching class, to me that's a connect energy because I am connecting with others, but then I'm also doing this deep work while I'm teaching. So that's also craft energy. That client meeting that I had earlier in the week, that to me was more connect. It was really somebody else was presenting some information. It was for me to kind of absorb and maybe just kind of ask any questions that I had. Those things were put in there, and then I can kind of fill in the gaps for the rest of the week. So this is how I'm able to keep my energy flow going throughout the week without expending too much of one. Because to me, I feel like if I was just in craft energy all week, I would be like so burnt out. Or if I was just like in one energy state all week, it just wouldn't be balanced. And so I try to balance it out also just based on tasks that I have to do that week, the meetings that I have, and I just try to do my best to balance it all out. And I know we all have commitments and responsibilities, so in an ideal world we would work on whatever we want to work on that day, right? And we have these responsibilities, so I have to put those on the calendar. So between the things that I absolutely had to do, like the meetings and the class, there was some marketing campaigns that I needed to get done for my clients, reviewing some metrics for them. And this isn't necessarily work related, but I have a goal to like work out at least 3 times a week, so I put that on here. And to me, those workouts, they're Pilates, so they're to me like crafting. I'm building my body, right? If I have like a super high output day, like a super high like craft day, and I'm just like doing a lot of like intense work, I may not work out on those days because just the season of life that I'm in right now, when I work out, it can be draining to my energy. So I have to be cognizant of that. Sometimes it energizes me, but I just have to be like careful. So sometimes maybe those days I'll just do something a little bit more low impact if I do want to do some workout, or just go for a long walk. So these are also things I can be like looking at my week and kind of planning those out as well. So yeah, so I got a lot of like the marketing campaigns done and scheduled out earlier in the week. I reviewed those metrics at the beginning of the week. I did my like high connect energy on Tuesday. So then Wednesday I had like a day where I can really just focus on some crafting energy, and just a little bit of connect and spark. And then Thursday I also had a really heavy connect energy day, and so I tried to just keep it at that, but I also had some stuff that I just wanted to like finalize here, which was finishing up my creative energy map sales page, which is linked below if you want to buy this Notion template. And then Friday, didn't have any huge meetings, long classes that I had to teach, so I just focused on kind of some ideation and just sort of finalizing and finishing up sort of tasks, just to like finish up the week. And then today, Saturday, and I had the energy today, so I wanted to film some YouTube videos. So that's what I decided to do on Saturday. And then I will spend Sunday resting, because I do like to try to have at least one full day off, not working on anything, so I could really feel rejuvenated for the upcoming week. So that's what my week looked like. If you'd like to get this Notion template, again, it's linked below. It explains the creative energy map system. There's resources in here too, like if like you have a low motivation day or low energy day, but you still want to get some things done, what are some of those tasks? I call it the low energy cheat sheet. There's also a 5-minute weekly reset where you can review your week, your previous week, and then plan for your upcoming week. If you found this video helpful, check out this video here where I plan out my week if I'm having a low energy or just low motivation week, which happens to all of us. All right, see you in the next one.